Hello, this is World University and Schools monthly business meeting on Saturday, August 19th, 2023. And I'm Scott McLeod. And as we wait to see if people will join this open monthly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Quakers, and Mufavik Mufavik Gozadin, I think living in London, but from Turkey originally, has said he might join this. And I've invited, in particular, Robin Appleberry and Ken Forsberg in person, potentially here in rural Massachusetts, where I am. As we wait to see if people will join us, I think I'll begin monthly business meeting. This will be recorded and posted to the active World University and School YouTube channel, currently youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University. So to begin, dear World Universitians, Bill Gates, Harvard Medical School's Professor of Genetics, George Church, Stanford Law Codex's Roland Vogel, Ken Forsberg, and Robin Appleberry, friends all. I hope this finds you well. Agenda item 1.0. World University and School seeking today potentially to hold a physical and virtual World University and School monthly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Quakers this Saturday, 8/19/23, and have invited Robin Appleberry and Ken Forsberg here on Cuttyhunk Island, Massachusetts, to join, but they haven't arrived yet, so I'm thinking they may not. Agenda item 1, World University and School accreditation with a business plan. Bill Gates, who is on World University and School emailing lists. Bill Gates, could you please help World University and School and the WUaS Corp develop a focused business plan for the WUaS Middle States Commission on Higher Education accreditation process? They have offices in the greater Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, and with the state of Pennsylvania's Department of Education. So this would involve potentially developing our various approaches to business thus far, including being an official carrier of 3 Lego robotics kits, and also seeking to list Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency free money daily on the new Silicon Valley long-term stock exchange, with partnering with the Pi cryptocurrency organization itself, with all 3 of these entities, the WUaS Corporation, the Silicon Valley long-term stock exchange, and the Pi cryptocurrency organization itself, having a relationship with the state of California's franchise tax board, presumably, and in World University and School also seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet at World University. We have a number of other planned revenue streams, and developing a business plan, and as World University and School accredits further with the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, would involve incorporating these other planned revenue streams too. Bill Gates, could you possibly please help with this, or invite someone possibly from the Gates Foundation, or if others would care to develop these remarkable opportunities as a business plan at World University and School for both of our wings, please let SGKMACLEOD@worlduniversityandschool.org. No, thanks. Agenda item 2, Professor George Church. What is a focus plan for extreme longevity? And how could a realistic virtual Earth for genetics and a realistic virtual Earth for genomics as part of one realistic virtual Earth? Think Google Street View with Time Slider, Maps, Earth, TensorFlow AI, Google Cell View, Google Molecule View, and also in conjunction with potentially avatar bot electronic medical records for all 7.9 billion people help. So extreme longevity presumably has to do with living potentially well beyond the upper limit of 122 years of age. And I think Professor of Genetics at Harvard and MIT, George Church, is going to give a talk. Maybe it's happening today in Dublin, Ireland, about this interesting set of possibilities as he continues to herald aging reversal genetic drug therapies and longevity genetic drug therapies as well. So just to check if people are seeking to join. No one, I'm not seeing anyone yet. In what ways, agenda item 2D, or actually agenda item 2C, I recently learned that Boston Children's Hospital is moving from the Cerner electronic health records to the Epic electronic health records as electronic medical records system. And regarding MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School, seeking to develop avatar bot electronic medical records, so a new form of electronic health records for aging reversal and extreme longevity genetic drugs for all 7.9 billion people on the planet. So how would avatar bot electronic medical records emerge in an iterating way, and with genetic therapies emerging also from possibly Epic electronic health records in the USA in particular, but also especially in all 200 countries? And agenda item 2D, electronic medical records and Project Baseline from Google's Verily. Verily's Project Baseline, a online re-envisioning of healthcare by taking physical samples in a clinic from 2,000 subjects at Stanford, in the Stanford area, 2,000 subjects in the Duke University area, and I think 6,000 subjects from Google itself. I heard about when it began in around 2017, taking physical samples, blood, sweat, tears, genetics, cardio readings, digitizing these and creating pathways to health in a brand new envisioning of medicine. What role might electronic medical records emerging from Google's Verily and its Project Baseline project have potentially also for avatar bot electronic medical records at World University and School, and even emerging from something like little Pegman avatar bot in Google Street View with Time Slider, becoming our avatar bot electronic medical records of ourselves, for ourselves, and possibly as genetic therapies help us to live beyond possibly 122 years of age. So interesting, fascinating questions and fascinating time we live in. where possibly World University and Schools, 200 planned online medical schools, and avatar bot electronic medical records, and a realistic virtual Earth for genomics may help in all of this. Agenda item 3. So World University and School recently began an Iowa law school at WUaS. One of 50 planned US states law schools that will also be part of the World University and School law schools planned also in 200 countries and in their main languages. So in beginning this Iowa law school at World University and School, World University and School added a first Iowa Supreme Court case, and in collaboration potentially with Stanford Law Codex, with eLegalis, of which Sugam Sharma, PhD in Iowa, is its founder. And the idea is potentially to add all the Iowa Supreme Court cases, possibly as PDFs, into artificial intelligence with machine learning in something like Wikidata, which is made just for this, and begin to develop predictive potentials, predictions for one, and do many other things, such that possible Iowa Supreme Court and its cases might begin to create an online virtual AI large language model, artificial intelligence with machine learning, Iowa Supreme Court itself. This is experimental. So glad that Sugam Sharma at eLegalis and Lydia Pincher at Wikidata out of Berlin, Germany, and Roland Vogel, the executive director of Stanford Law Codex, are communicating about these potentials. So glad that Sugam Sharma has sent World University and School a first Iowa Supreme Court case, and so glad that World University and School created this Iowa Law School and added this Supreme Court case to Wikidata, with which Wikidata, Wikimedia people may be able to begin to create possibly an Iowa Supreme Court cases history in artificial intelligence with machine learning. So you can go to the Iowa Supreme Court, the Iowa Law School at WUaS for open teaching and learning. Its URL is wiki.worlduniversityandSchool.org/wiki/Iowa_law_school_at_WUaS. Check out this case, possibly even yourself teach or learn from this emerging online Iowa Law School at WUaS. Looking forward to seeing next steps and in further communication with eLegalis.com and Sugam Sharma and Stanford Law Codex's Roland Vogel and Wikidata as well. As an aside, World University and School has been in Wikidata. We donated ourselves for co-development in around 2015 to Wikidata. And all of this is emerging as generative AI and large language models take shape. Wikidata in 300 languages and as the backend structured knowledge database of Wikipedia, and with Creative Commons licensing, in many ways will become a data source for many AI projects, for many machine learning projects in its 300 languages. Exciting time. So agenda item 3D, how might this potential creation of or adding of Iowa Supreme Court cases to machine learning and AI for predictive purposes and for many other reasons inform and give information technology structure to the adding of similar case histories to the India Supreme Court's cases into generative AI, artificial intelligence, possibly even the USA Supreme Court, and possibly all 200 countries' Supreme Courts. Will we at World University and School law schools in all 200 countries in all 50 US states be able to teach about this and in these countries' languages, possibly help these countries as well with our WUaS law faculty further develop the benefits of adding their Supreme Court cases, all 200 countries, all 50 US states, to generative AI, to possibly Wikidata, Wikibase, WUaS Mirahazen MediaWiki, our front-end wiki, and thus to gain the benefits of generative AI and Supreme Court's cases with predictive potential for even social justice, but in many, many ways on the web with AI and machine learning. Stay tuned. Agenda item 4, WUaS Academic Medical Center with a virtual Harbin Hot Springs warm water cure and a WUaS Longevity Genetics Institute in Canyon, California, 94516. In what ways could World University and School best partner with the US federal government itself? And in my seeking to move back into a newly safe Canyon, California, 94516 on September 1st, 2023, in just under 2 weeks from the East Coast of the USA. And in order to create a physical digital WUaS Academic Medical Center, a virtual Harbin warm water cure, and a WUaS Longevity Genetics Institute, World University and School for the Academic Medical Center and the Longevity Genetics Institute interested in partnering with the US federal government. And to this end, we retweeted the FDA Commissioner, Dr. Rob Califf's recent tweet. We remain committed to partnering across government, academia, and industry to strengthen and diversify the supply chain and ensure Americans continue to have access to drugs that are high quality, safe, and effective. So further, the WUaS Academic Medical Center and the WUaS Longevity Genetics Institute would and is planning to create pharmaceuticals and longevity genetics pharmaceuticals and many other kinds that would potentially create redundancy for ensuring and strengthening and diversifying the supply chain of drugs that are high quality, safe, and effective for Americans. This will potentially happen after World University and School begins its WUaS Longevity Genetics Institute and WUaS Academic Medical Center out of Canyon, California as a physical digital project. potentially after September 1st, 2023. Stay tuned. Agenda item 5. Just checking if people are seeking to join us. Not yet. I recently traveled through Eastern Canada from basically the Rainbow Bridge between the US and Canada near Niagara Falls, east to Nova Scotia, and went to the Joggins Fossil Cliffs, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Nova Scotia, Canada, and am further exploring at World University and School how to create a realistic virtual Earth for paleontology, for geology, for this remarkable flourishing of life 354 million years ago to about 290 million years ago, when in Pangaea, which was an agglomeration of continents, theoretically, about 300 and some, more than 300, more than 500 years ago, probably, created a, or where Pangaea was on, much of Pangaea was on the equator of what's the Earth now, and a remarkable rainforest emerged south of what became England and north of what became Morocco, in the African continent. And then as plate tectonics split up Pangaea, this agglomeration of continents, and over possibly about 200 million years ago, Nova Scotia moved basically northwest for about 3,000 miles due to plate tectonics, I think, to where it more or less is now on the globe. And this rainforest was fossilized and can be seen on the beaches of the Joggins Fossil Cliffs, UNESCO World Heritage Site. So about a week ago, in going to the Joggins Fossil Cliffs, had a great tour with an interpreter, Waylon Smith, and am curious how both UNESCO World Heritage and individuals such as you and I might be able to create a realistic virtual Earth for paleontology, for geology, for archaeology, for plate tectonics in something like Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, and for the movement of or the further research into this remarkable fossil narrative now in Nova Scotia, such that UNESCO World Heritage Sites and all of us, you and I, with film to 3D apps, and into also a realistic virtual Earth for evolutionary biology, could add evidence that we find and further help create this remarkable history of life on Earth. So, in a related vein, thanks Waylon Smith, and in a related vein and regarding even WUaS robotics and humanoid robotics, such as the Toyota THR3, Toyota Humanoid Robot 3. Thanks, Waylon Smith. How best could MIT OpenCourseware-centric World University and School create its first UNESCO World Heritage Site university at Joggins Fossil Cliffs with WUAS faculty, and even with Toyota humanoid robots, THR-3s, for example, in 5 or 10 years, as WUAS paleontologists, to crack rocks such that further research could unfold, such as WS human faculty in an online university at World University and School, focused on this Joggins Fossil Cliffs UNESCO World Heritage Site, could facilitate Toyota humanoid robots or similar in 10 years to further do research into the fossil record at Joggins Fossil Cliffs, and thus further help us see the forest, which is on this beach, fossilized 300 million years later, and all the species of life that emerged on this, in this rainforest 300 million years ago in the middle of Pangaea on the equator, south of England and north of Morocco, and which is now fossil record is findable on Nova Scotia 300 million years later. World University and School seeks further to create possibly universities at all 1,157 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in something like 167 countries out of 200 countries that would be online, and possibly that would also develop Toyota humanoid robotics or humanoid robot professors and researchers, such that our UNESCO World Heritage Site, World University, and faculty could do research through these humanoid robots on each of these 1,157 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, even remotely. Fascinating possibilities that World University and School seeks to develop, potentially first with Joggins Fossil Cliffs in Nova Scotia, and in seeking further to understand from Pangaea, emergence of this agglomerated set of continents, and then with plate tectonics to the present location, which was a long, slow journey of what is now Nova Scotia from Pangaea, over possibly 3,000 miles and possibly 200 to 300 million years. How could World University and School further this research in creating World University and School universities with UNESCO World Heritage Sites and with possibly humanoid robots in the next 10 or 20 years? So agenda item 6, moving back into a newly safe 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon, California, 94516 on February 9/1/2023, and the District 7 State of California Senate office in Orinda, California, about 8 miles from Canyon 94516, both of which are about 5 miles east of Berkeley and Oakland, California, and 5 emails that I at World University have sent to the California State Senate regarding this. These emails are in a Google Doc, and World University and School is continuing to seek to hear back from California State Senate in these regards. A little history here. back in March of 2022, Edward Smythe, MD, of Northern California, Kaiser Permanente, Kaiser Richmond Hospital, called me, and in 2 long phone calls, sought to precipitate my moving back into a newly safe Canyon, California, 94516, on Friday, April 15th, 2022. But when he came over to the safe house I was living in north of Berkeley, in El Cerrito, on Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, he suggested that Canyon, California 94516 was still not safe. This is after I had lived in Canyon for about 13 years up through October 1st, 2020, in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. So World University and School is continuing to communicate with Ed Smythe, MD, regarding his precipitating of my moving back into a newly safe Canyon, California 94516 for a song, and the District 7 California State Senator's Office, and in moving forward. Agenda item 7, generative AI courses. There are 9 from Google and free. There are at least 9 new courses, generative AI courses from Google, that have just been published, such as 1, Introduction to Generative AI, 2, Introduction to Large Language Models, 3, Introduction to Responsible AI, 4, Introduction to Image Generation, 5, Encoder-Decoder Architecture, 6, Attention Mechanism, 7, Transformer Models and BERT Model, 8, Create Image Captioning Models, 8, Create Image Captioning Models, 9, Introduction to Generative AI Studio. So I created a tweet with these. In what ways can the MIT OpenCourseWare-centric World University and School WUaS Press incorporate these into our bachelor, PhD, AA, or AS, IB, or similar high school, and master's, and even law and MD, WUaS free degrees from our WUaS Artificial Intelligence Wiki subject page at wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/artificial intelligence, and especially in 200 languages, all 200 countries, official and main languages, which are a main focus for World University and School, both all languages, known living languages, and planning to be in all 200 countries. We would like to incorporate such resources into our free degrees, and also with the MIT OpenCourseWare, and are seeking to do so over time. Item 7B, in a related vein, with the emergence of generative AI, what will a free, playing AA degree, Associates of Arts degree, or Associate of Science degree, basically 2 years of an undergraduate education, in computer science at World University and School be like? So one idea is begin with the Scratch programming language, which you can begin to learn at csfirst.with google.com, and with possibly WUaS Lego robotics. So in what ways can so one can program Lego robotics with the Scratch programming language, which is a drag and drop visual programming language that Google has created a course around, that World University and School is offering presently for students to matriculate into World University and School for free degrees. How can World University and School create a free playful or play-focused computer science AA degree with resources such as the Scratch programming language and Lego robotics, which World University and School is an official reseller of? This is something that I think may be lacking in higher education, play in computer science degrees, and is something that World University and School is seeking to explore, creating further in our free online AA Associates of Science degrees too, and in all 200 countries' main and official languages. So agenda item 8, regarding generative AI, conversation, platforms and machine learning and scholarly inquiries. 2 examples that I've found very edifying regarding bagpiping machine learning and a new bagpiping form of music, potentially combining Cale Moore Pibroch classical bagpiping with Cale Biag light music bagpiping in a new form I'm calling Pibroch rock and roll blues laments. Both Pibroch classical bagpiping music can be very sad, and blues music as well can be very sad. Rock and roll has much blues in it. The form, a new form music I'd like to create, and that I asked Google Bard about, would combine Pibroch and blues, and potentially in riffing with a rock and roll concert from 1973 on the Scottish small pipes with the A Mixolydian chanter. So I asked Google Bard, could we create this new form of music? And Google Bard, sounding a little bit in its text responses like I think Peter Norvig might sound in real life, replied, yes. Google Bard said I'd have to learn Pibroch, I'd have to learn how to write sheet music, I'd have to, blues music is very sad, Pibroch also has a sad element, and I think Google Bard said, I think I can create this new form, help create this new form of music, riffing with Pibroch melodies to potentially the Allman Brothers with Jerry Garcia at Cal Palace in San Francisco in 1973. And I was delighted that Google Bard was so positive, that it could help create this new form of music. As I continue to try to riff some with this concert, this rock and roll concert on my Scottish small pipes. Amazing new world that Google Bard seems to potentially, as a collaborator, be able to help create. Amazing new form of music, potentially. Stay tuned. And just as visuals were recently added to Google Bard, so the ability to search on images with generative artificial intelligence software, I asked Google Bard regarding a particular object in the Carnegie Museum of Art in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a tomb representing the death of the last Duke of Brittany in around 1492, how the replica of the tomb in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Carnegie Museum of Art was made, whether it could show me images of the original, which I think may be in the Nantes cathedral in France of a second replica I understood was made. And interestingly, it was Andrew Carnegie himself in around 1910, the very early 1900s, who had this replica made, and which is in a corner of the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Carnegie Museum of Art in the Christmas tree room, with a lot of other very large, beautiful replicas of church facades and sculpture and similar, including of the Acropolis. And not only was I interested in seeing visuals, and Google Bard helped with this, although its data sets are very, very early, young and early, so I'm not sure how accurate they were. I was also interested in seeing the significance of this tomb and learning about some of its provenance, all the annotations that went into the record of the creation and development of the meaning of this particular object, this tomb of the last Duke of Brittany, Francis II. And did it even symbolize, possibly even for Andrew Carnegie himself, the end of Celtic sovereignty in Brittany, France, the very northwest peninsula in France, when after Francis II died, I think his daughter married a king of France in the 1500s, and Brittany's and the Breton language as well possibly lost its sovereignty to France. Interesting set of questions that Google Bard with visuals helped provide initial answers to. More opportunity here to explore this further. I couldn't find any provenance, history of ownership of this particular work of art at the Carnegie Museum of Art in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in its databases when I asked some people there, and I couldn't find any interpreters of its Celtic history, such as this tomb of Francis II. So I was glad that Google Bard might offer alternative such that I could find out more about this as a scholarly art history inquiry, thanks newly to Google Bard generative AI software. Super new developments thanks to generative AI software. There are at least 10 open AI, generative AI chatbots available, such as ChatGPT. Some are proprietary, some have particular responsibility focuses. I think Google does, for example, and World University and School, having been in Google since around, I think, 2013, 2015 too, seeking to further incorporate Google Bard generative AI into our large language models for all of our 7,168 known living languages, such that potentially in any language, people could ask such questions and get iterating, accurate answers and collaborative potential, both for visuals, such as asking about the tomb of Francis II, last Duke of Brittany, as well as for creating, for example, Pibroch Blues rock and roll laments, a new form of music combining classical bagpiping music with light music in bagpiping. Stay tuned. Down to about 15 minutes. Agenda item 9. So as I was traveling through Canada recently for about 2 weeks, from the Rainbow Bridge at Niagara Falls toward and to Nova Scotia, as I entered Nova Scotia, I saw a big 18-wheel truck on the other side of the road that said, "On the road to end human trafficking," on Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. And World University and School, MIT Open Courseware Centric Wiki World University and School, is continuing to call for abolishing the illegal sex, drug, weapons, exotic animals, nuclear and violence industries, so etc. And so WUaS is continuing to call for abolishing the wrongful buying and selling of people and their latent networks of violence. And in WUaS planning to code for most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet, each a Wikidata PIN number here at World University. In what ways does this sign on the truck on the road to end human trafficking in Nova Scotia, Canada, represent also a possible ally or a possible abolition movement, if you will, emerging in Canada? So World University and School is calling for abolition to protect people, women, children, victims, others, and potentially with federal, state, international, and uniform services law in all 200 countries even, working together effectively. World University and School is seeking to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet to end poverty also, and via UBI experiments, and also to create wiki schools for free universal education among speakers of all 7,168 known living languages. So this agenda item 9 is an ongoing focus of how to potentially create an iterating abolition movement that might protect people, abolishing the wrongful buying and selling of people. Also on Cuttyhunk Island, Massachusetts, potentially, where abolition, I think slavery was abolished in England in something like 1833, and the Emancipation Proclamation in the United States declaring freedom for slaves emerges in 1865, is from 1865, and the civil rights movement of the 1960s in the USA, in Canada, and around the world further developed protections for peoples, sought to give opportunity to people who had been disadvantaged or slaves, for example, in the past. World University and School continues to seek to develop and further this approach to abolition, and potentially with federal and state and other legal regimes working effectively together. Stay tuned as World University and School seeks to further this encoding for 7.9 billion people on the planet, and potentially to protect people and even to end poverty and create free universal education. Agenda item 10, before we move to the WUaS Corporation, in the last 10 minutes of this hour-long open monthly business meeting. The next open WUaS news and Q&A meets on Monday, August 21st, so in 2 days. And the Zoom URL for this meeting is in the World University and School agenda and news, in the Ylang Ylang Comoros National Flower blog post, and in World University and School blog 2 from Thursday, August 17th, 2023. Come join this if you want. It's an opportunity for free open conversation. World University and School is holding these Monday WS News and Question and Answers regularly at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. I think it's 7:30 p.m. India time. Please join if you so choose. Recordings are saved to the current active World University and School YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University. So changing to the other wing of World University and School, the WS Corporation, the WUaS Press, an academic press planned in all 7,168 known living languages with machine translation, which is our for-profit general stock company in a legal entity in the state of California. Agenda item A, ongoing focus of how to further develop the Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency for 7.9 billion people, each a Wikidata PIN number from you at World University. And with regard to the WS Corporation seeking to list on the new Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange and the potentially Pi organization, the Pi cryptocurrency organization also having a relationship like the WS Corporation with the Franchise Tax Board and with the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange itself having a relationship with the state of California Franchise Tax Board. World University and School has received a partnering letter from Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency a few months ago, and World University and School is exploring how this will impact or change even the future of US global capital, for example. The coding for all 7.9 billion people would potentially, at World University, in our Wikidata backend structured knowledge database, would occur in Wikidata from the at World University and School wiki link. And you can, at present, already begin to get Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency free money daily from mindpi.com/SGKMAC. Download the app onto your smartphone and use this username, SGKMAC, as your invitation code, and begin to get 5 to 6 Pi coins a day. That takes less than 5 seconds to click 2 buttons and begin to accumulate them. What happens if Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency begins to take on a bigger role and potentially in collaboration somehow with the US dollar on paper? Stay tuned. The WS Corporation seeking to code for this and in collaboration with Stanford MindPi. There are remarkable synergies between the WS Corporation, our one wing, a for-profit general stock company in California, on the one hand, and our other wing, the 501c3 tax-exempt MIT OpenCourseware-centric World University and School seeking to offer online free degrees in all 200 countries. Both seek to be in all 200 countries, and both seek to code for speakers of all 7,168 known living languages, and both seek also to code for all 7.9 billion people on the planet. WUaS Corporation also seeks to have an educational services store, bookstore, computer store, robotics store, hospital technologies distribution center, in addition to being an official retailer of Lego robotics kits. Stay tuned as we grow these two wings together, and potentially with possibly Stanford Mind Pi cryptocurrency becoming a way to both get possibly books, computers, robotics, hospital technologies, as well as possibly for countries even to reimburse on our nonprofit wing, World University and School, for free to students degrees, WUaS degrees, per student per year, or similar. These are huge information technology coding projects, and many of the steps are already in place with the emergence of Stanford Mind Pi cryptocurrency, with the emergence of the Silicon Valley Long-Term Stock Exchange, with the emergence of the WUaS Corporation, all with relationships with the state of California's Franchise Tax Board, and also with the emergence of 501c3 World University and School, also with a relationship with the state of California's Franchise Tax Board. So, posting more about this on Twitter. Check out Twitter for World University and School and the WUaS Press. Agenda item B in the WUaS Corporation, targeting a $2 a dose aging reversal therapy for everyone. Dr. George Church video interview clips, who is talking about a $2 a dose aging reversal therapy for everyone. And in what ways can friendly informed World University and School help, possibly in our developing WUaS pharmaceuticals? And in what ways can friendly informed World University and School help, not only in Pennsylvania, but also with possibly WUaS Toyota ambulance vans, possibly distribute such $2 a dose aging reversal therapies for everyone. And also with the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA and the USA, with which we seek to collaborate further. This is retweeting a tweet from Friends Center, Quaker Center in the Philadelphia area, which had a picture of a bus involved, which message said, drive down healthcare costs and provide better care. The tweet reads, the Pennsylvania Health Access Bus is here at Friends Center today to spread the message, drive down healthcare costs and provide better care, protect our care. Check it out at twitter.com, friendsctr. So these are another focus for World University and School, WUaS pharmaceuticals, and as aging reversal and longevity genetics drugs emerge. Last two agenda items, or last one agenda item, have explored this a little bit in the beginning of the World University and School monthly business meeting earlier today. WUaS robotics with WUaS faculty and WUaS and Toyota humanoid robots in 10 years as humanoid robotics WUaS researchers, becoming WUaS robot professors, and WUaS staff on all 1,157 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And as WUaS universities potentially develop with and in collaboration and for all 1,157 UNESCO World Heritage Sites with machine learning and AI. A tweet about this: how could MIT OpenCourseware-centric World University and School of focus and create its UNESCO World Heritage Site, WS Universities, on all 1,157 UNESCO WH sites? And at Joggins Fossil Cliffs, Nova Scotia, with WS faculty and with humanoid robots. Stay tuned. And lastly, agenda item C1, estimates for ubiquitous, universal, humanoid robots in the USA by 2028, perhaps first on factory sites, seems possible and fascinating. We live in a time where automobiles, cars are everywhere and in all 200 countries. One estimate for ubiquitous humanoid robots in the USA is by 2028. Viable in factory settings between 2025 and 2028, and in consumer applications between 2030 and 2035. World University and School seeks to grow with developing WS humanoid robotics, with making humanoid robotics available through our WS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, hospital technologies. These are a prime focus in World University and School and the WS Corporation planning ahead. Thank you. I'll post this recording to the active YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod, World University, SCOTTMACLEOD, World University, as well as to our two main Twitters, twitter.com/WORLD, UNIVANDSCH, and twitter.com/WUASPRESS. Until next monthly business meeting, the third Saturday of the month, when I hope to be in California. Stay tuned. Thanks. And see you soon online, possibly also this Monday, August 21st, 2023 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Until next time, bye for now.